Good morning, it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube, and I'm here to share some cards, or pull some cards actually, and share some guidance for this week ahead. That's this week starting Wednesday the 29th of March through till Tuesday the 4th of April 2023. So welcome. So while you're coming over, I want to send out an extra special big welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. Your support helps me be able to keep doing these videos and keep sharing what I do here at Temple of Balance. So thank you so much. So what I'm going to be doing is using my combined Speed of Light Oracle cards that have been combined with my Animal Kingdom Oracle cards. And these have been combined to make a 110 card deck. And I'll be using this deck to find the best cards for this week ahead. So I'm going to pull some cards, lay them out and talk with you about what those cards are. And this is general guidance for everyone. So I'm not pulling cards for individuals. I trust you've been led here for a reason. And I trust that something shared supports you at this time. And if it doesn't resonate, if something doesn't make sense to you, just let it go. Take on board the things that do resonate and the things that seem like I'm speaking directly to you. So let's see what happens. So welcome everybody. Hi Siobhan and Bridget and Valentina, Aletha, welcome, and Sam. Hello, and everyone else who's connecting. I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Wednesday the 29th of March here, and the time is, what time is it? Oh, whoops, no, I'm not doing that. Where is the time? 11:44 a.m. So, welcome. All right, our last theme card for last week was projection. And this was about staying focused and staying within the eye of the storm and the chaos that's been playing out around us in our life at this time. And even for some of us within us, the sort of unstable energy or instability that we might be feeling in our body as well, and trying to hold our center and just stay the course and move with the chaos and with the storm to stay in that eye. So we have to adapt and be flexible and take one step at a time. So there's been really big energy and big things happening last week and the last couple of weeks really. So I'm interested to see if this is settling down this week or if it continues or something else. But we transition to the new month as well, so that's exciting. So I'm shuffling the cards and asking the cards to show us what we need to know, the majority of us, for Wednesday the 29th of March through to Tuesday the 4th of April 2023. Oops. I'm throwing cards everywhere. Just pop those guys back in and we'll just refocus here. So the best cards for the 29th of March through to the 4th of April 2023. And the best cards that we need. Still not ready. So our cards go flying. The cards haven't settled. So just refocusing here. This part is so important. Otherwise I'll pull the wrong cards. So I need to make sure that I'm really clear with my intentions and I get the right cards here. So okay, now we're ready. The best cards for this week are these. I'm going to place them face down here next to me, so just bear with me a second. We're going to do a bit of a clock here. Well, not exactly. So we've got 4 and 4. All right, so we've got 4 Animal Kingdom, 4 Speed of Light. Let's turn these over. Oh, the frog. I've got so many frogs. Oh, we've got a dragon. Which dragon is it? Give us your dragon predictions. We actually haven't seen a dragon for a little while, which is somewhat surprising because the energy's been very intense and the dragons bring intensity with their energy as well. So we've got one of the dragons, the the elemental dragons. So earth, air, fire, water, or spirit. Give me a guess, and I'll let you know what it is in just a moment. We're going to start our reading week, Wednesday the 29th, with this card, the Frog, card 34. And it says to cleanse your environment. Cleanse your environment. This is your inner or our inner and or outer environment that may need cleansing or clearing or purging. So first of all, it's probably helpful to check in with ourselves and see what's our current state in our body. Do we feel overweight and bloated? Do we need to look at what we're consuming and make some changes? Make some changes with that. Do we need to exercise more? Have we been getting enough sleep? What do we determine that we need? Not what society tells us is healthy or right, but what we feel in our body. So as we become more in sync with ourselves and our body and what our body needs and what our body feels like at a certain weight or a certain size or with a certain amount of sleep or not a certain amount of sleep. Some people need more sleep than others. Some people, we all need different foods than others. There's certain foods that my body loves that your body might not, and things that your body loves that my body just doesn't like at all. Or, so getting to know what our body needs, I think, is really important in regards to what we consume, the rest that we take, and the activity that we undertake as well. So whether it be exercise or physical activity, that's really important to maintain the strength of our body. So what does your body need as far as purging or cleansing, so that the environment of your body is, what's the best word here? I feel like the word harmonious or in balance. I think of the frogs will only be in an environment, present in an environment that is in harmony, that is in balance, that isn't toxic. So is there something toxic in your body that needs looking at and to stop avoiding? Also, we could look at this mentally. So are there thoughts that you've been just letting take you over that perhaps need some purging so you can get more focused on the positive or a more optimistic and hopeful outcome, or just journey through life? Perhaps you're emotionally, maybe you're awash with emotions right now, or feeling like there's just this big... a big amount of feeling at the moment, like a tidal wave over you. Maybe some emotions need clearing. Maybe they've been building up. So letting them move, letting them flow, letting them go. So inwardly, but also cleansing our environment outwardly. So there may be spring cleaning that we might want to do. We may want to maintain the cleanliness of our home or our room or the space that we're in. So what is it that needs clearing or purging as you look at your Wednesday? Is it inside you? Is it outside you? And maybe it encompasses more than one thing. Maybe it's an inward thing and an outward thing. So look at what's consuming you, what's overwhelming you, what's stressing you, and how can you resolve that? How can you reduce that? How can you clear those stresses that you might be under? Maybe your time, maybe your schedule needs some sorting and some clearing and purging. Maybe you're not spending your time doing the things that are of the highest priority. Maybe you're focusing on things or distracting yourself with other things, addictions or things like that. So it's a good thing to do fairly regularly, and certainly a good thing to consider on Wednesday. So on Thursday, the 30th of March, we have the Bear. The Bear is card 43, and it reminds us to move out of the rut. And, this is interesting coming on the back of the Frog card, which is that very purging kind of energy. As we purge, as we release our hold, as we look thoroughly at ourselves physically, emotionally, mentally, and also in our surroundings, how we spend our time, all that stuff I was talking about. As we look at that stuff and the parts of our life that have been blocked up for a while or stressed out, we've been stressed about, as we purge and clear those, it actually brings us out of a rut state. So if you've been stagnant, if you've been sitting and hovering really stagnant and heavy in yourself, physically, emotionally, mentally, or just in your physical surroundings, maybe that's become too cluttered, and there's not much elbow room, there's not much space around you, there's not much room for new things to come in. So as we purge and clear around Wednesday, that will also likely entice us out of the rut, out of that stagnant space that we may have been feeling like we're in. Have you been feeling stagnant and stuck? If you have, maybe look at clearing and purging what needs it. Do a spring clean. Just go crazy if you need to. And see how that makes you feel as you get that all that old and that cluttered energy out of the way. That will bring a part of you out, especially a part that's been stagnant or stuck. So it's favourable on Thursday for us to move out of the rut that we've been in. But it's up to us. I mean, we're the ones that have to shift the energy. We have to motivate ourselves to push through. Otherwise, we just stay in the cluttered mess and in the rut, and we continue to stay there. So if you truly want to move out of that stressful, stagnant, stuck, overwhelmed state, then it feels to me already Wednesday, Thursday that we have almost like the power in our hands to do something about this. And if we're not sure where to start, perhaps let's do a spring clean. Let's clear that wardrobe we've been wanting to clear out or saying we're going to clear out for months or years or weeks. Let's start clearing things out. Give our house a good clean. Might be quite motivating. So, for the last day of the month, Friday the 31st of March, and this is our dragon, so I'm not sure what you predicted, but we have the fire dragon here for Friday, card 23, and it says that this is a powerful time of change. The dragons are the highest vibrating cards in the whole deck, and there are 5 of them. So this is one of the 5 that's come up in our reading today. It aligns with the fire element, so fire elements do bring change. Fire can be quite destructive, as we know, but it's also very constructive, and we can build things. You know, we can create with the fire, and the fire burn. You know, I'm thinking now too of a fire burning through the land and burning away all the leaf litter and the fallen limbs and all the rubbish that's been laying around on the ground, and it burns out. Like, what a clearing, what a purge this is to connect with that fire element for purging and for clearing. So the fire burns things away that we don't. What I like to say to myself is that, like the fire element or whatever I'm working with, but as I'm purging, that I'm releasing everything that does not align with my highest truth. So anything that doesn't align with my highest truth, I'm not interested in having hovering around me or my life. It could be people, and people come and go. So there could be people that don't resonate any longer. They're not needed for my highest truth, so I can let them go. It could be things or objects or parts of my life, things that I did with my time that I don't need to do anymore. Things change. So as things change, then I need to be constantly really willing to let that stuff go that does not align with my highest truth, because I'm interested in truth. We could say a highest self. It doesn't quite feel as strong to me personally as my highest truth. There is an authority in that somehow, a personal authority that I really resonate with. So that's what I like to do. And this fire element really complements that energy quite well. So as we burn away, as we let go, as we release, and also the fire element as we kind of align further with our purpose, but there is also a strong element here about motivating ourselves, self-motivation. And this really aligns great too with the bear card, moving out of the rut. So the fire element coming in, the fire dragon, how can you, or where have you been lacking in self-motivation? And what can you do to ignite or spark self-motivation again? Is it mental for you? Do you have to maybe set yourself a goal? Maybe you need to clear out your stress or your overwhelm. Set yourself a goal, something to look forward to, something to build, something to create, something to do. Something that gives you a sense and feeling of purpose and belonging and meaning in your life. And using that to motivate yourself to start with. Maybe if it's just clearing the clutter, It might be putting on your favorite song that really lifts your spirits, that you dance to, that you move your body to, and use that to motivate you to spring clean, clear things out and get your body going again. You know, it's almost like warming the engine up again in our body. Maybe our engine has been kind of almost going out, the light almost going out, because, you know, we've just been idling for so long. So if you've been idling for too long, if you've been in a rut for too long now, it doesn't matter how long it's been, if it's too long and you're over it, this is our opportunity for the end of this month, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at the very least, to get ourselves moving again. So music, cleaning, clearing, this all moves our body, and this will probably help us align with this fire element energy, and especially that sense of self-motivation. It's physical, but it's also mental. So getting in the focus and the mindset of something to hone in on. Our brain likes us having a goal and something it can create a path towards. So if we don't have a goal, it doesn't have to be a big goal. I like realistic goals personally. I don't like pie in the sky goals for me personally, like winning the lottery or something. That seems just very unlikely and too pie in the sky, too unrealistic. I like more practical, doable, real things that I can work towards in a real practical way where I can see the results of these things, rather than something that's just some type of fantasy or dream. So I recommend, I mean, it's probably just my personality, but I do recommend maybe setting yourself some goals, if that's what you want to do, that are realistic and are accomplishable, that you can accomplish these things and you can feel like you've accomplished something because you've reached that goal, you've moved through the challenges, and whatever that goal might be. So that is a reward, a personal reward. And there's something, I know for me, I get hungry for that because it's so exciting. So the first day of April 1, and we have, this is for Saturday, card 22, the Lotus Heart, and it says Om Mantra, meditate, reconnect, and peace. This is about reconnecting with our heart, but this is also peace of mind. So the energy is settling now as we get towards Saturday. This is when we make the effort. So the effort needs to be made. We could ignore it and just keep feeling like we're in a rut, and then none of this will apply to us. So if you make the effort, if you get yourself out of the rut, if you spring clean or look at what needs purging within yourself or your life, if you take these things and self-motivate as best as you can, there is this feeling here of peace that comes in, peace of mind. Finally, peace of mind. And a feeling here of contentment. There is a contentment feeling with this card, this sense of peace and reconnecting with our heart and reconnecting with, it's almost like a slower energy, stopping to smell the roses, that type of thing. Sunday, the 2nd of April, we have card 2 for the 2nd, which is prayer. And it says ask, help, answers, and improvement. So this is, well, there's a couple of elements to this card. First of all, our intentions or our prayers for help have been heard. So whatever you need help with, that you're struggling with, that you're being honest about, that you need help with in life, those requests for help, those prayers, those intentions have been heard. So the universe has heard your calls and cries for help, let's say. There is another element of this card that talks about improvement. And so this is especially about our requests for improvement to ourselves, our life, our relationships have been heard. So this is holding that intention, holding that space as clearly as we can from our heart, and it's like we're putting it out there. So we have, it's like as soon as we have the question for something, the answer's already coming to us. It's already finding its way. It's like attracts like, we could say, or what you are seeking is also seeking you. So as you have a clear question, the answer's already on its way to you, or on its way to us. It might take a little bit to get the answer through various means depending on the question, but as soon as that question is formulated clearly and honestly, that answer is coming. And if it's not clear and honest, the answer's still coming. So in some ways, this is like a mental and heart-focused card that reminds us to really think clearly about what it is that we want, or what it is that we need, because what we want and what we need can be two very different things. So what is it that you want? What is it that you need? Working out what those differences are can be very interesting. And then get really clear about it. Writing in your journal may be helpful too. But improvement is coming. Monday, the 3rd of April, we have the fox. And the fox is card 8. And it reminds us to find a way to carve out this new path for ourselves now. So this is a re-emergence now of that self-motivation and that focus that came in just a few days before, and for Friday especially, but the lead up to Friday. As we get to Monday, we'll probably be refocusing, but there is something a little bit more substantial, less abstract about the energy now, because this is about our path. How can we find a way towards that goal? How can we carve out that path for ourselves? So if you've been waiting on something to happen, if you've been waiting on someone, then this is probably like, okay, I'm just going to work this out myself and forge a way forward. So find a way through the obstacle, find a way to carve that path out for ourselves now. So there is this sense of self-responsibility and self-leadership as well as that self-motivation that we've been cultivating in the days prior. As we work out our path. And it feels certainly connected with our path, our life's path. And I can feel our path just really sort of strengthening and forging itself ahead of us as we move forward. So it makes me feel too like there might be some clear goals that we're setting, or a goal. It doesn't have to be a ton of them. A clear goal, a clear intention. It could be clarity that arrives too, where we finally, a light bulb moment went off, and now we know what we need to do, or we know what we want to work towards, or we know what we need to focus on. So there's something quite real about this path that we're wanting to carve out for ourselves now, and we might have more clarity by the time we get to Monday in regards to how we're going to do that, or what the next step or steps are at the very least. We don't tend to know all the steps going towards a goal, A to Z, going towards that goal itself. We don't tend to know all of those at the very beginning. In fact, it's usually quite unlikely. So as long as we know the first few steps that we need to take, so we can get the other steps clarified and calcified in some way, solidified, as we work towards that goal. And if we're clear about that goal as well, then that's also, we're halfway there. Now we've got the last two cards here for Tuesday, the 4th of April, the 4th of the 4th. We'll look at this first and then I'll reveal the other card. Not that it's any secret, but I just feel like I want to wait on that. This is card 26, called Filters, and it says beliefs, cancel, delete, clarity and awareness. And that clarity, that feels like it just really stands out as I say those key words. So this is the clarity that we've been looking for and waiting for and wanting. This is clarity arriving, and it comes inside us. We might have it arrive through insight or conversations we have or things we see outside of us, but clarity is like a light bulb that goes off inside us. So it's internal, and it's almost like the answer to that question, or the clarity on what we were confused about. So it's almost like question answer. So the answer, the clarity comes from within. But we need to be, what I've noticed for me anyway, I need to be aware of everything that is happening in my life, because within those little activities or interactions or responses or just things that I'm observing can be little clues that end up coming together and bringing that clarity that I'm looking for, if that makes sense. So I need to be really aware of what's happening around me, also aware of how I'm feeling inside, because I might have something stir that will then prompt a thought that will lead to this thought and lead to that, and then clarity, so I'm sort of aware. My awareness seems to lock me into that clarity that I'm looking for, or the clarity that's coming to me. What I seek is also seeking me. What you seek is seeking you. So that's what I was talking about before, that clarity. So that question, that intention, that prayer that we put out there, that's why if we can put it out clearly and make sure it is actually what we want, that energy, the answer to that, the clarity is going to be coming towards us. As we move towards it, then we meet. And that's where clarity in that light bulb moment sort of happens. But if we're putting some muddy intention out there that's not really clear or is a bit contradictory, because we tend to do that too, weirdly enough, be careful what you wish for kind of thing, because it may happen. So let's make sure our intentions and prayers are really super clear. Write it down, get it clear in your head or out on paper, so that we know that the clarity, the answer that's coming is going to match, and we want it to match in a positive way that's beneficial and supportive for our growth and improvement. So let's stay aware, but clarity is coming in, especially around Tuesday, if not earlier, because I've already talked about that as well. And also for Tuesday the 4th is the Jellyfish card 55, and it says vulnerable, flow, sensitive, and protection. There is a deep feeling with this card, almost like we're coming full circle, and I've done the cards in a circle today, that we're coming a full circle, and there is this sense, so we're coming back to the frog energy basically, but with this card there is surrender, there is relief. There is a relief by the time we get to Tuesday, potentially for us, as we've surrendered. So we've perhaps through the purging and the focus and whatever it is that's been important for us this coming week, it's like relief now, less stress, less pressure is the feeling here, and a sense of surrender and more flow. It's almost like this is the opposite of being in a rut. So being in a rut, you're sort of stuck in a cave and you're hesitating, you're holding back. But with the jellyfish here, it's just like this flow, this movement with the currents. So there is this dance or movement or gentleness also that wants to come in around this energy of the jellyfish. So we might feel vulnerable, we may feel sensitive by the time we get to Tuesday. I'd be very surprised if this is the first time we're feeling sensitive this coming week. But we're likely going to feel sensitive as we let go of some of that hard stuff we've been hiding behind, and let a softer side of ourselves come out, and not be afraid of that this is a part of who we are. Sometimes we need to be strong and focused and clear and stubborn in some ways, or fixed, and at other times we need to be just a little gentler and softer and more sensitive. We are sensitive beings, all of us. So it's sort of like an ebb and a flow. It's a softness that wants to come in by the time we get to Tuesday, almost coming around that circle. So I trust this resonates and supports you. Thanks so much for connecting. I am going to pull a theme card, so don't go anywhere yet. If you have enjoyed this video and you've got something helpful out of it, even something little, please show your support by hitting the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment. Please share if you're inspired to. If you'd prefer to connect more privately and send some feedback, or if you've got further questions, maybe something that I've talked about that you want clarification on, then I'm happy for you to email or even comment and say, can you explain this further, because I don't get that, if you're trying to work something out. So just drop us an email anytime if you want to. So on my website is the best way you can learn more about me and the work I do here at Temple of Balance. That's templeofbalance.com.au. So you can grab yourself a deck of cards, either or both. You can combine them. You can work with them on their own. That doesn't matter. I like them together. That's just me. So we've got the cards. I've got pendants, earrings, arts, meditations. I've got a few supportive services like intuitive healing. We can do together one-on-one over video. And we can work deep and connect deeply with the energy and get things shifting for you. Spirit guide drawings. There's loads of things on my website. So please have a look if you're inspired to, and see if there's something that resonates and supports you. There's also my monthly membership, Pillar of Light membership, which I call my Pillar of Light family, which started 9 years ago in April. So we're about to have our 9th year of Pillar of Light. But that's the best way you can work with my energy and take it deeper. So there's a weekly report and all sorts of things. So please have a look on my website if you would like to. So our best theme card for this week, for the majority of us, is what I'm looking for now. This will help us see the bigger picture for this week ahead as we transition into April. So the best card for the majority of us for our theme from the 29th of March to the 4th of April 2023 is this card. It's a Speed of Light Oracle, and it's this. This is freaking perfect, I could tell you. And we have not seen this card for so long. In fact, if you're pretty new to my videos and you don't have the card decks, you may not have seen this card. It's not come up, I don't think, for months. It's card 16, called Stepping In. And it says solo commitment, test, allow, and flow. This is a perfect week for the majority of us to make a commitment. Now, it could be a commitment to better health. It could be a commitment to keeping in charge of our thoughts, or thinking. What am I looking for here? I've kind of got all this jumble of about 10 words. I'm just trying to think of how to put them together. Make a commitment to thinking, choosing the thoughts that we think that support our growth and our improvement. So in other words, choosing a thought that is, we could say positive. That's the word that comes to mind. Not that I particularly like that word that much, because it doesn't really perfectly explain what I'm trying to say, but choosing more positive words over negative, just in general, and what that entails. So thoughts that are more supportive. So making a commitment to think in healthier, more supportive ways. Maybe for some of us, it's a commitment to feeling more and honouring how we feel, because it's a part of who we are. And the more we ignore it, the more it builds up and the more stagnant we feel. So the less we're in the flow. Maybe this is a commitment to keeping a cleaner home or a cleaner room. Maybe it's a commitment to our life's path and our goal that we may be setting this week. Maybe it's a commitment to breaking a habit or some addiction that we have that we know is not healthy and good for us. Maybe it's a commitment that we need to make ourselves to get out of the rut and move into something more exciting that life has to offer, that we create. Life's not going to bring things that are better just automatically. We need to create these things, I feel. So making a commitment to that. Making a commitment to carving out a better path for ourselves. So what do you need to make a commitment to? This is probably going to be at the forefront of our mind this week, and it's likely a solo commitment. This is for us. If other people are involved, we're not responsible for their commitment or not. Do we want to commit? Do you want to commit? And this is something maybe to consider. So it's a great time this week, very favourable to step in or step out of the rut, to step into ourselves and to make a commitment, to make the time for whatever this is. This is exciting. I love that card. So quite a motivating week, certainly less heavier than last week. Lighter than last week, I should say. Thanks so much for connecting. Have a great week ahead. I will be back to share with you again soon. So take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye.